Morning. Charles Merkel here for day 137 at 3 minute 10 breath total body warm up. Think I got the microphone working. Hopefully it's coming through. It is a gorgeous day out. What did I say? Today's day 137. So yesterday was my recovery day of rest. Now it's time to just pick up the ball again and make a run for it. Have a positive, productive, awesome week. Making forward progress on goals. Oof. Luna still wants attention. She doesn't take no for an answer. Which takes me right into my share. Goodness, girl. My share for today. She is feisty. Feeling like everybody wants a piece of you. You have those moments, you have those days where maybe you feel like you're being pulled in every direction and you got people or animals all vying and crying for your attention. Feel like being pulled in multiple directions. And that's going to happen sometimes in life. How do you manage that? How do you navigate those waters? It starts with self-care. It starts with putting your oxygen mask on first. Knowing how to handle priorities, not just who's yelling the loudest, but what's actually important. It also means learning to master the word no and delegation of responsibilities and outcomes. Said learning how to say no. And just helping people to, and I realize this is a lot of work up front, but helping people to be able to do things on their own without you. That can be a very, very troublesome path to take on. One, if you're dealing with a low self-esteem, and what's the term? I'm thinking of an of an old book. Came out even before Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Frederick Van something or other. It's complicated, I think, German name. But it was called The Magic Story. It's a very short story. Goodness, they are demanding today. It's a short story called The Magic Story. Talks about a plus and a minus entity. You know what? I can get you a free copy. I will put a link in the description. But when you're still dealing with that minus entity, that low self-worth, that low self-esteem, and we want to feel like we want to be somebody reliable, and that is a good attribute to pursue. You want to be somebody dependable, but you need those ego strokes, and which means you're trying to do everything yourself. If you haven't reached the place yet where you can allow somebody else to get the glory, somebody else to get the accolades, because you're still dealing with a low self-esteem that may tempt you to try to take on too much, more than you can handle, more than you can comfortably handle, maybe more than you should. There are enough accolades to go around. There is enough work to be done. So begin doing the work on yourself. If you're not yet at the place where you can look at the mirror or look at yourself in the mirror and like and appreciate and even love the one looking back at you, keep going, keep growing, keep striving. Because until you master that person, accolades will remain just your fix rather than a litmus test of making actual progress. It can be your drug. It can be an addiction, just like anything else. And it can be unhealthy, especially when you calculate the cost of what you're giving up to achieve those accolades, to be able to do it all. The cost can be very, very, very high. I know of numerous folks where the cost was their family. They say they're doing it for their family, but the cost was their family because they never was honest with the person in the mirror and said, I'm really doing this for myself. I'm really doing this because there's something I need that's not being met. That can be a very big, very hard truth pill to swallow. But once you do, and until you do, you can't do the real work. So ask yourself today, really dig deep, ask yourself, be honest with yourself, maybe for the first time in your life. Why am I really doing this? Maybe the reasons are not as, what's the term? It'll come to me. But is not maybe not as virtuous as you believe, as you've told yourself. The outcome can be, but the reason may still be selfish, coming from a selfish place. So that can be a very hard pill to swallow. But once you do, once you could do, you can start the real work. Start doing things for the right reasons, for the virtuous reasons. Same activity. Sometimes the same activity. Sometimes you discover there's something else you're really supposed to be doing. That happened with me. For a time. For a time, there was some things that needed to be corrected. Some amends that had to be made. But doing things for the right reasons will help you keep balance, will help you be able to do what I was talking about in the beginning. Because when you're no longer doing it just for yourself to stroke your own ego, now you don't mind somebody else getting the accolades, getting the glory. You can have joy with them, have glory with them. You can delegate both the responsibility and the outcome. You can learn to say no when appropriate. You can prioritize. But you have to get this why you're doing it in its proper place. Be truthful with yourself first. Then you can make forward progress. That's true in a lot of areas of life. A lot of areas. All right. All right. Time to do our 3-minute, 10 breath total body warm up. If you're new, welcome. This is a resistance based exercise using multiple muscle groups congruently. So if it's your first time, watch along. You feel free to follow along, but otherwise, go to the address in the. It's not a ticker anymore. Uh, in a little box at the bottom below me, or scan the QR code, takes you directly to video training on how to do this exercise, as well as a chance to practice yourself, and then follow along with me tomorrow. That I do not talk during this exercise because the breathing portion is extremely important. And if I talk, it's going to reduce the effectiveness. So it's going to be 3 minutes of silence, just hearing me breathing, 3 intense minutes. But the beauty is that it warms up your entire body. Your entire body, so you can go out and be more effective, be more productive, have a little more self confidence as you go about your day. All right, let's get started with today's 3-minute, 10 breath total body warm up. And begin. Yes. You need, just like during the exercise, you need to inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth during the recovery. You'll know it's starting to click. You'll know you're starting to get it, starting to be effective. When you feel temporary but full exhaustion at the end, that it's temporary, momentary. It doesn't last long. You should be completely expended at the end. That's when you know it's clicked. You've got it. It goes from being a warm up to an exercise. But it takes practice. It takes consistency. So keep at it. Keep at it. Said it can take a few weeks before you start getting a feel for it, because you're teaching your body how to do something new. So that takes focus, that takes effort, that takes practice. That's okay. You're learning something new that practice consistently for the long term will give you an elevated level of health. It will. I know it's done that for me, and it will do the same for you. I will see you tomorrow for day 138. I said, take a moment, look at yourself in the mirror, be honest. Be truly honest with yourself what your motivations are, why you're doing something, especially if you're constantly feeling overwhelmed. Be honest with yourself, and then let's do the work. I will see you tomorrow. Charles signing off. Bye.